But for those of you who are going to apply to the equivalency in Turkey, you have to have a residence permit ID card, like a Turkish ID number, basically, which you can get through various different ways. It's not only residence permit, you can get it in different methods as well, which are listed on the screen. But do know that that is a step that you have to do. We will guide you on the residence permit application process, so you will get this ID during that path. Basically, this will be something that we help you guys with, but you should be aware that the residence permit application is also part of the equivalency certificate process. So making sure that you apply to the residence permit as early as possible is very important, so that you can also handle the other steps that are related to it. And this is an important piece of information. So this does not apply to students from Pakistan who are studying in GC A-level schools, but for all other students who are studying in a school which is a different curriculum than their country's national curriculum. So, for example, if you're studying, let's say, in Turkey, and you're studying, actually not in Turkey, Turkey doesn't fit this example as well. If you're studying in Saudi Arabia, and if you're studying in a school that provides the International Baccalaureate, for example, or the GCE, or an American high school education, then you have to get an extra document from the Ministry of Education in Saudi Arabia stating that your school is recognized. A local equivalency paper, basically, from the ministry in the country that you're in. This is important and necessary for students applying from international education institutions different from their own country. Otherwise, you won't be able to apply to the equivalency. Ministries of Education in the countries that we recruit students from are almost all aware of this requirement in the latter years. So it is quite easy to get this document. You basically just have to get in touch with the Ministry of Education or the relevant authority, and they will give you a local equivalency, which you can use to apply for the equivalency here. And finally, before we start to close, MySU. So for those of you who have received your IDs and your login details and so on, you can log into MySU. It is basically the general hub for the university, all kinds of announcements, whether it be the cafeteria food selection for that day, or shuttle details, or students selling items that they have left from last year's, or course information, exam dates, etc., are all shared from this platform. You can use it to find the contact information of anybody. You can use it to reach your email account. It's an application that you can download on your phone, and of course you can also access it through a browser as well. Make sure that you get into the habit of doing this. Make sure that you have your email, notifications open on your phone, etc. You make sure that you have your Sabancı University account registered as well, because you'll be receiving a lot of information on your Sabancı University emails as well in the next couple of weeks, and obviously years and years. So it is important to make sure that you are, connected to the university's overall communication channels. So highly recommended that you download the app and log in. And that's that for the presentation part. So like we did last time, guys, we will primarily answer questions through the Q&A section. So please make sure that you are using the Q&A options to ask us questions, and we'll help you out. I have to take this phone call real quick. My apologies, but you guys can start without me for a sec.
Thank you so much, Çağan. Okay, let's get started this Q&A section. If you have any question on your mind, don't hesitate to write on the Q&A section bar. So let's get started with Mahnur Khan question. Can you please list the important documents we need to bring with us on campus? Dear Mahnur, probably you already received an email regarding the registration documents from the student resources. Please check your emails, especially the attachment in the details. So in a couple of days later, we will also send you a student guide. In the student guide, we will mention the required document list. But to sum up the documents, basically you will bring your high school transcripts and your diploma, your passport, That's documents coming in my mind. If my colleagues can add and other documents they can add. Let's continue with the other questions from İdil Ömeriş. If we will pass stage 1 of the English exam, but not this stage 2, foundation will be just for 1 semester, right? So the English exam will be two stages. The first stage will be a test, and the second exam will be a writing, reading, and listening test. So after that, if you don't pass the stage 2, you will be registered as an English prep year student. So once you study for the first semester, then there will be another ELA exam in the beginning of the second semester, let's say likely in January or February. Or you can submit your TOEFL exam score in order to skip this first semester, as far as I know. But my colleague, Ms. Pınar, maybe add something else.
As I know, the first stage, if you fail on the first stage, then it means that you will start the beginning of the prep school years, which means that you need to take 1 year, but we are not for sure for this. That means that if you will start the beginning of the prep year, you will not have opportunity to take another exam like in the end of the first semester. The opportunity only option can be to take a TOEFL exam actually. But we are not 100% for sure about this. But as I know, the first stage of the exam is the, how to say, if you fail on this exam, you will be the beginner's level, in the beginner level. So with the beginner level, it's not possible to take another test end of the first semester.
Yes, exactly. So in order to able to take the stage 2 exam, you should be able to pass the stage 1. Then you will be able to take the stage 2 exam. Okay, let's continue with the next question. The sample papers and the ELA exam that we will be taking have the same difficulty level. Dear Manuel, it should be the same actually, since the foreign language school is sharing the exam documents on their website. It should be the same difficulty level actually. But also you can search on Google. There are different YouTube channels or some other documents regarding the ELA exam, so you can have a look at that also. The next question from Bassam Hoca. Hi, Bassam. The question is that I graduated from an international school in Turkey. Do I need to do equivalency or not? Bassam, if you have a diploma from the Turkish Ministry of Education stamp, then you don't need to take equivalency. But if you have an international school diploma, then you can just text me, you can just write me by email. I can tell you how to obtain the equivalency. Equivalency is not an urgent document, don't worry. Once you arrive in Turkey, once you arrive at campus, you can just visit our office and we can help you to get equivalency. It's basically there are two processes. The first process to apply online. The second process is to submit your documents in person to the equivalency center. So it's basically an easy process, and don't worry, you still have time to complete it. The next question from Azra Ali. I was informed that registration would not be cancelled if someone did not have the equivalency certificate during the registration. Has this been changed? No, you are right. Even if you don't have equivalency certificate, don't worry. It's not an urgent and immediate document for the registration. Once you complete your registration, once you move on your dormitory room, once you start your education, after all, then you can start your equivalency process. The next question from Vakif Hamzaev. Can you provide simple question?
Hassan, I recently sent the link to the chat part, so they can easily click this link and they can see the samples of the questions.
Yes, you can please check the chat bar. If you can find it, you can also text us on WhatsApp. We can send you the link. The next question from Manahil Ahsan. Can I register without my A2 original certificate? I have the electronic statement. I'll be able to get my A2 original certificate by the end of September or October. Dear Manahil, even if you don't have the original document, don't worry. During the registration process, the student resources will give you extra time to complete other missing documents. They will not cancel your registration in any case. So I suggest you make your plan, come to the campus and start your registration process. Okay, next question. Welcome, Chan, back again.
Thank you.
So you saved me from this question session on my own.
Sorry about that.
Okay, let's continue with Buan Hoca's question. With the delay of dormitory results, does this mean the dormitory opening date stays the same,
Yes.
14, or will that change too?
No, the dormitory opening date is the same.
We cannot hear you, Chan, but no, it's not changed. You will be able to move on to your dormitory room.
Testing? You can't hear me? You still can't hear me?
Yeah, we can hear it.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay, great. Next question from Krenar Tan. If you have a secondary Turkish citizenship, is a residence permit required? Basically, no.
No, I don't think so. Yeah,
If you have Turkish citizenship or if you have blue card, mavi card, I mean, you don't have to apply for a residence permit. You already have a permanent residence permit, let's say.
Yeah, exactly.
Next question from Timur. When do I need to fill the medical information form?
So that is part of the registration process, as far as I'm aware, Timur. You need to fill it. Basically, we'll have to submit it during that time, especially during the SIS registrations, the online registration part. Certain aspects of it you might not be able to fill out, perhaps, until you do all your tests. You can hand some of those later. They do always allow some extensions on those every year. But you should, I think the registration guide that you receive should have information on this. Just follow that. And if you have any questions, you can reach the health center directly. I believe their email is also shared in the guide. If you haven't received the guide yet, you will soon. And you can just, ask the questions to them as well about like specific tests, where to get them, when to submit them, and so on.
Okay, I shared their email addresses in the chat bar, so you can send an email to healthcenter@sabancıuniv.edu or sbf@sabancıuniv.edu. This is their email address. The next question from Halil Halili. How can we get our student ID for applying dorms? Because I think today is the last day for the applying dorm. Also, I would like to ask, how can we get scholarship from university itself, and can we get it after completing foundation year, and what conditions?
So thank you, Khalil. So the student ID will be sent to you. If it hasn't already been sent, it will be sent in the next couple of days. Since our applications are going to be closing tomorrow, we still have some students coming into the university even as we speak. So there will be more IDs sent out in the next days. The dormitory applications are not closing today. The applications are, ongoing. They were extended for the previous, let's say, group of students that are applying, but they will be open once more between the 4th and 7th of September. So you will be able to apply during that period of time if you haven't been able to apply so far, or if you don't have your ID. So don't worry, you can apply, next week, basically, once you get your ID. About the scholarship, so you can always ask for evaluation at this stage. However, if you're asking how can we get a student scholarship from this university after beginning our studies, there's this existing student scholarship system, of course. Every year we give scholarships to existing students based on both academic merits and academic success and need. So you can apply for that after you begin your studies. And if you get selected, then you will be able to get a scholarship like that too. You can apply for this basically after you begin your studies. So at the end of the academic year, usually they start the application process, and every year you can apply and apply again. So that's the other option.
Thank you, Can. The next question from Mehdi. I am coming to Turkey on 17 September. Will I be able to live in dormitory that day?
Yes, Mehdi, you can. Just make sure that you have a TOEFL exemption, or some, that you don't need to take the English exam. But I'm imagining you don't have to since you're making this plan. There's absolutely no problem. After the 14th, you can come to the dormitories at any point. We highly recommend that you come latest on the 17th so you can attend the various orientation programs. But if you don't have to take the ELAE, perfectly fine.
Great. The next question from Irmak Bashar. How can I sign into my SU account on app? I tried with my username and password, but it says incorrect. I guess it's SIS information system you are mentioning, right?
It could also be the MySU app, perhaps.
Yeah.
I mean, they should be the same, the login, as far as I'm aware from previous years. The SIS login and the MySU logins were the same. If you're able to access the SIS, like the dormitory applications, for example, and if you can't access MySU, just write to us. We'll check with student resources to see if something might be up.
Probably they will be able to log in the system after they complete the online registration system, maybe.
Maybe on MySU, could be. That could be true.
Okay, the next question from Turan Ashkar. Is it required to pay dormitory fees for the full year, or is it possible to pay it per semester or even monthly?
So you don't have to pay it for the full year. I think you don't pay it for the full year. In fact, you pay it per semester, from what I recall. I do not believe they have a monthly installment process, unfortunately. There was some discussion of that happening in the university, just so you know, for future years. So that might be something to track. However, for this term, as far as I'm aware, it's only per semester.
Okay, great. Next question. Will parents be kept updated about our academic progress?
Absolutely not. I mean, some of you might be under 18. So I guess some of you might not legally be adults, but you will become legal adults in the duration of your study. And most of you are legal adults in Turkey. The adulthood age is 18. And the university has absolutely no policy to tell anybody your academic success. So no one except you will know that ever. It's very clear on this.
Yes, exactly. The next question from Orhan. Do you have basketball team?
Yes, we do. There's a basketball team, and there's various student clubs as well. The basketball team itself partakes in inter-university competitions. So, if you want to represent, hopefully you can.
That's great. Next question from Lara Yılmaz. Is fee payments online?
Very good question, Lara. I do not believe so. I think there's still transfer payments. They tried to create an online payment system. I'm not sure if it was finalized. Frankly speaking, the Students' Resources Registration Guide should detail this better than we can tell you at the moment. So you can just check that. If it doesn't mention any online payment systems in there, then it should still be a transfer payment system.
Perfect. Next question from Vagıf Hamzayev. When can we pay the first semester fee at the latest?
The latest is the 6th of September. However, do remember that the registration system will, let's say, unlock certain steps once the payment reaches the university's account. For example, the course selections and so on, that part of it is usually blocked until the tuition fee payment reaches the university account and is confirmed by the university. So if you delay, quite a lot, then you might face some issues during the registration process. So our recommendation would be to try to finish everything, I mean, hopefully within the next couple of days. Like, do not delay more than a week at this point.
Thank you. The next question from Khalil. What times do classes start and end?
Good question. So the classes start officially at the 23rd, Khalil. One of my teammates hopefully can check the academic calendars to see when they end for the first term. I'm not exactly aware, but the academic calendar is online for the next year. But this is also when we're busy trying to get you the exact information, this is a good other alternate answer to this kind of question. It is a good idea, guys, to find the academic calendar on the university's website. You can just Google Sabancı University academic calendar and you will see it, and bookmark that page.
But he might also,
yeah.
he's trying to
Please, Pınar.
understand the classes hours, I think.
Timetable, schedule, yeah.
Oh, is that what you're asking? Okay. I see. What times? I guess that's true. Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, that depends then. Basically, I mean, the classes start, I think, like 8:40 in the morning, I believe is the earliest one around that time. But the latest ones can run quite late because there's some recitations and stuff like that. So it can be like 6:30, something of that sort. But still, check the academic calendar. That was an important piece of information.
Yes, I also shared the academic calendar on chat bar. You can click and check the academic calendar. And the next question from Misha. Are there any extra documents we need to get for residence permit? For the residence permit, we can maybe we can invite Mr. Alican to reply your question.
Hello, sorry. I was with some new students like who are starting to like visit our office already. So the question is for the documents needed for the residence permit, right?
Exactly.
So like most of the documents we are going to provide to you like from the university, but like other documents will be needed. Yeah, the important ones are like first you will apply as online for your residence permit, and after you make your application, you will receive an appointment paper. After that, like we will need your passport page, as a photocopy. We will need your like passport last entry, or like if you are coming with visa, photocopy of that. Other than that, like we will need your biometric photos. We will need 4 biometric photos. We will provide you student certificate. Health insurance will be provided by the university. It will be needed. And other than that, like address documents will be needed. Like it's one of the important documents that you need to submit to receive student residence permit. But most of these documents like will be provided by the university, and we will help you in all of this and in the process. So like for this kind of questions, like you can contact with me, so I can send you the steps and the requirements and everything from there.
Thank you, Alican, for the detailed answer. So the next question from Buen. During dormitory application, we had to send a criminal report. When is it necessary to submit the original document?
So I'm not sure if the dormitories have a specific deadline for those kinds of documents, but of course, you should submit all the relevant documents as soon as you can. The criminal report itself is a good question because you will be able to get that document quite late in most cases, because you need to be able to access certain systems. You have to get to a certain stage in your residence permit application process to be able to get that document. So there will be sufficiently, long periods of time provided for all of those documents, but still try to get them as soon as you can is the correct answer.
Right, next question is for Ms. Pınar. From Miras Zengabul. Do you pick up students from the airport on the night of September 14 or only daily pickups?
Hello, Miras. So we will organize airport pickup only from Istanbul Airport, as Can mentioned. So The dates will be 14th and 15th of September, and it can be either nights or day, it doesn't matter. Today or tomorrow, we will send an email regarding this and ask for your flight numbers and the flight details. So according to all these information, we will actually, we will make a schedule for the airport pickup shuttles. And so just follow your emails regarding this, but don't worry, if you will take the night flight, I'm sure there will be some other students who will take the same flight with you or like close hours. So don't worry about it. But just like be aware of this, the airport pickup only will be made from Istanbul Airport, not from Sabiha Gökçen.
Thank you, Pınar. The next question from Mehdi. I will bring some documents with myself, like birth certificate, school, graduation documents, etc. These documents have been apostilled and translated into Turkish and certified. Should I bring these documents to the university?
Yes.
Yeah.
Some of those documents are your registration documents, basically the school graduation documents and so on. So you will need to bring them, Mehdi, for your registration. They will not take them from you. They will just, verify them and give them back to you during the registration process. And if you need to apply for the equivalency, or if you haven't already, then you will be able to use some of those for the equivalency application later on. So yeah, just check the guides that you receive for the relevant documents lists, and yeah, bring everything that's listed there.
Okay, thank you. The next question from İzzet Budak. One question I have is there a section I can find for student rights on the Sabancı web page?
Very good question. So I am also checking this for a moment.
Yeah, I checked it, but there's just undergraduate education instruction letter, and you might find some about your rights on that letter, maybe.
Yeah, the website does, on the about section, it does like underline some principles that the university has with regards to, like, harassment policies, etc., those kind of things. This MySU system does also have, under the student resource section, the protocols and so on that are related to, for example, scholarship evaluations, those kinds of things. So majority of it at the moment you might not be able to find on the website, but once you have access to MySU, from MySU, I think you'll be able to find more of that kind of detail.
That's very good. The next question from Vakıf Hamzayev. If we don't pass the second stage of ELA exam, how can we finish the foundation after studying only one semester?
Yes, Vakıf, that's possible. It depends on your grade, at which level that you fail the ELAE. It is possible to fail the second stage also at a low enough grade that you need to study more than one semester, from what I recall from past experiences. But if you get a good enough grade, then you only have to study one semester, and then you continue your studies this next semester by taking the first year courses. So that's entirely possible.
That's good. Next question from Khadija Han. From when should the visa be requested? 14 September. Is this the date that should be shown on the flight ticket and hotel booking? Is a hotel booking need at all, since I am staying at dorm? Can the university provide proof of accommodation?
Absolutely, Khadija. If they need some sort of residence detail from you, you can just tell them that you're going to be staying in the university dormitories. If they need some sort of proof of document, let us know. We can prepare something like that for you if needed. But you should also probably be able to get your dormitory application page, sent as an attachment. In past years, we've never really been asked to provide dormitory accommodation proof for visa applications. So I'm imagining they will not ask you for this, because obviously we've been, recruiting students for many, many years, and this has never come up during the consulate discussions. The flight date, yeah, the 14th of September makes a lot of sense. 13th, 14th, anything like that. You can ask for the visa to begin at that time. That should be perfectly okay.
Great. The next question from Orhan Süleymanlı. Why does the app say my username or password is wrong?
Yeah, I guess this question sort of came earlier as well. So either MISO requires the online registration to be finished, guys, which could be possible, or there could be some sort of maybe system problem. Still, regardless of whichever case it might be, just write to us about this. We will forward it to student resources, and they can guide you on how to access the system.
Thank you. The next question from Turan Askarlı. Maybe Ms. Pınar can reply this question.
The answer is no, unfortunately, because the earliest you can enter the dorms on the 14th of September, on Saturday, not Friday, unfortunately. So the earliest you can take your ticket for the 14th of September. And that's it actually. From Sabiha Gökçen, on the email that we will send about the airport pickup, by the way, you can see all information about how to get campus. So you can see the shuttles or how to say the taxi information from Sabiha Gökçen Airport. Just take this email and a bit look at this email, and there will be also on the form. We will also ask your flight number, even if you don't take our airport pickup from Istanbul Airport. Please inform us about your arriving information to campus.
Okay, thank you so much. The next question from Hatice Han. Your academic calendar doesn't confirm a winter break though.
So I just checked that to make sure. So basically the academic calendar doesn't state winter break directly. You can sort of figure out when the winter break is by looking at the time period between when the final exams end and when the first day of classes for the second term begins.
Yeah, it's saying last day of classes.
Yeah, so the last day of classes is the 31st of December. The final exams end on the 12th of January. And the first day of classes for the next term seems to be the 5th of February. So between the 12th of January and 5th of February, that will be the winter break. However, do keep in mind that you might need to take additional exams, not additional exams, but if you miss an exam because you're sick or something, you might have to take an exam after that deadline too. So it is not a bad idea sometimes to book the flight 1 or 2 days after the final exam date.
That's good answer. Thank you so much. The next question from Farhat Beshirzadeh. We'll be able to edit our dorm application after we get a result.
No, Farhad. If you have made a mistake during the dormitory application, write to us. We can perhaps pass that along to the dormitories to see if they can help you with that. But after you get the result, you can't, after you apply, I think you can't edit the application anymore. So yeah.
Yes, the next question from Rania Malik. Should we bring dollars or liras with us? And will we be provided a locker to keep our money in until we are able to open a bank account?
So if you're not under 18, opening a bank account is quite easy. It takes some time still, but not too long. You should be able to do it within a couple of days after arrival, hopefully. There's sadly no lockers to keep your money in until you're able to open a bank account, which does make bringing very large amounts of money somewhat of a problem. So we would recommend not to do that if possible. Of course, you should bring some money with you for the first week or two for food expenses and that kind of thing. If you do not have a credit card or a bank card, something like that you can borrow and use. Because international cards work, of course. So if you have a copy of your father's card, for example, you can use that instead. But yeah, if you need to, if you're under 18 and you can't open a bank account for a while, etc., then you should, of course, bring some money. It is also, we sort of talked about this the last meeting as well. For those kinds of situations when you're not able to bring certain amounts of money, or for some reason your bank account opens late, you can always get in touch with us, with the international office. We can sort of help you to transfer money, let's say, that you can, take from us afterwards and so on, to help out with that kind of like first couple of weeks situation.
Great. Next question, again from Rania. Should documents that are in English also be translated into Turkish?
No, English is accepted.
Great. Next question is for Ms. Pınar from Ali Kalkavan. You said that we may not get the type of room we want. Then should we pay for dormitories after we would know the type of room, or should we pay before that?
So Ali, you can complete your payment for the dormitory upon your arrival on campus. There's a bank, Akbank, and you need to complete the payment, dormitory payment in Turkish lira. So yes, you can. And actually, you have to do like this, as I know. Not online payment is not acceptable for the dormitory payments. And there's a question from Orhan, which makes me a bit smile. So, will our parents be aware about when we leave and enter the dorm? Orhan, no, your parents will not be aware about this if you don't inform them about your entering or like leaving hours from the campus.
Is Orhan asking this question, or is Orhan's parents asking this question?
Thank you. Thank you, Pınar. The next question from Vakıf Hamzayev. Can you give the School of Languages mail?
Yes, we should be able to.
Yeah, we will write their email address right now on the chat bar.
As we speak.
As we speak.
There you go.
The next question from Muez Khalid. Are we allowed to live in the dorms during the breaks after the semester?
So not really. We use basically the dorms generally go through maintenance. Sometimes there are other events that take place in the university, so the dormitory rooms are busy for other reasons. So in most cases, you have to empty your dorm room between the semesters.
Okay, then we are in the last two questions. Now the first question from Khadija Khan. I couldn't hear you after you said you can provide proof of accommodation if need be.
Yeah. So basically, Khadija, I was saying that you can provide that if you need. However, that has never really come up in past years. Whenever we've had a lot of students, of course, apply to visas, a lot of students who've had problems with visa applications that we've helped with to get the visa in the end. There has never really been a case in which any consulate anywhere in the world has asked us for dormitory confirmations. So I think they will most likely not ask you for accommodation, since you basically can make the statement that you're applying to the dormitories and you will stay there. If you need any help, we are happy to help, and we can get in touch with the consulates, etc. No problem. I believe you were asking for the date as well, about when you should begin your visa application. 14th is perfectly okay. You can just say the 14th. You can make the flight adjustments for the 14th. Arrangements, for the 14th, and that should be fine. And again, as I said, we can assist if you need any help. After you've applied, we can't help you apply to the visa, but after you've applied, if you face any issue with the consulate, etc., let us know, and we can try and get in touch with them to assist as much as we can. We, of course, don't have entire control over their decision-making process. However, we can, try and do our best. This applies to everybody, of course.
Great. The next question from Halil. is there a specific choice of subjects for our faculties, such as computer science and engineering? Do we get to choose some subjects and times for those classes to start?
The first year courses are the same for everybody, Halil. So you don't have to make a specific, let's say, choice to be able to choose a specific program. Everybody can choose whichever program regardless, basically, of their background, of anything, pretty much. So you will have absolute freedom, and your specific grades and specific courses don't influence that, for example, as well. So if you want to study computer science and engineering, you will basically, like, you will have the option to do so. But for the second half of your question, eventually you will be able to choose, some of your subjects, most of your subjects as the education continues on. And even from the first year, you can choose the sections of your classes. So section means which professor gives that course and what time that course is given. There's not always a ton of available sections. Some courses have only one section, but there are ways of mixing and changing the times that your classes start. However, that is not relevant for your program choice, if that is a question that you have.
Thank you. The next question from Fatima Nauman. If we choose not to go home in our semester break, can we not continue living in our dorm?
So from, again, past experiences, I believe you can't. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. But the dormitories, as I said, generally tend to go to maintenance during the winter breaks. Of course, if you have like very serious reasons, like God forbid you had some sort of accident, health problem, and so on, and you have to stay, obviously in those kinds of situations, there is assistance provided. However, in most cases, the dormitories do not sort of let you continue uninterrupted, let's say, until the next term, because they usually use those breaks to provide maintenance and so on.
And also there was
Maybe they
other
can.
question. Okay, can you hear me? Okay. There are some
They
also
can use the
students.
storage, as I know.
Okay.
Not the rooms, but storage can be used for all their luggage and some heavy things maybe that they don't want to carry back.
Irem, you were saying something as well?
Yeah, okay. Also, Rania was asking about the exceptions about staying in the dorms in the breaks. There are some projects and internships going on in the campus. So then, yes, students can stay. You have to inform the dorm management, and then they can arrange you something.
Thank you, Irem, for your support. So the next question from Azra. Is there a storage space to keep luggage in the dorms, or they already answered? Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, the next
Rania,
question.
İrem website.
Rania already answered. Okay. I feel useless. Thank you. Okay, the next from Vakıf Hamza'ya. Can my friends come to the campus anytime, or do we have to get permission?
You have to get permission. The university security is quite strict. It is, of course, possible for your friends to come to the university. There's no limit on that. But yeah, you have to get permission. Basically, there's a security email that you have to send out an email to, and so that's how you do it. I think there's maybe a form that you have to fill out on MySU. You will learn about it once you arrive.
Okay, maybe Irem can reply the next question from Murat Orancı. My transcript is attested by, but I never received it physically, and there is no wet stamp. There is a QR code to verify it.
Yes,
Though, is
I've
it fine?
already answered these questions, but yes, again, Murat, your transcript was with QR code, so it will be okay.
Thank you so much.
Does Murat need to apply for the equivalence?
For equivalency, yes, we will get, but it was not available right now, I think, as I remember.
Okay, cool. Because eventually for the equivalency, Murat, you might need to have it physically. For the registrations, what Irem said is correct, I believe. But for the equivalency, eventually, if it comes to that, you might need the physical copy. So keep that in mind.
Next question from Zainab Abdullah. Hope it's not answered yet. When do we have to declare our major or minor?
So at the end of your first year, yeah, I think someone said that. Did Pınar say it? I heard it. Heard someone
Yes,
whispering
I
it.
said.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
share the same room with Hasan. That's why my microphone was off, but
Yeah, I heard it from also. Yeah, guys, you can choose it at the end of your first year, or if you wish at the end of your second year, it's up to you. Basically, you can use your second year to experiment between different programs as well, as I said at the beginning. So you don't have to choose at the end of your first year. But yeah, those are the two times. You have to have made the choice by the end of your second year for sure.
Okay, finally, we have some fun questions though. From Talin Jamal. Can we hang posters on the walls in our dorm rooms?
Yes, I think so, but not with like nails and stuff. If you can, hang the poster in a way that it doesn't destroy the wall, I think that is possible, yes.
Okay. You should be agree with your roommate, I
poster.
guess.
Oh, I see. Yes, absolutely.
and don't mention to the dorm representative actually.
And also, it must be not the political things.
Yeah.
So don't hang on.
You can just hang flowers and kitten pictures, that's all.
Okay, the next question from Amna Jamal. Does the university provide any type of accommodation for incoming international students' parents?
So not accommodation, Amna, but there is going to be a session for incoming international students' parents. There's going to be, we call it the parent club, basically. We will make an announcement for that in the next week or so as well. On the 17th of September, there will be a session for all your parents that are accompanying you during the first week to, get them to know a little bit about the university as well. But there's no accommodation, sadly.
Great. The next question from Izzet. Sorry if someone has asked this already, but can I apply for financial aid throughout registration period? I think I saw an option for that on the registration website.
I believe not, actually. During registration period, there should not be a way of applying for an extra financial aid. However, starting from your next year, yes, it starts from the end of your first year, yes, you'll be able to apply for financial aid. But as far as I'm aware, there is no financial aid to apply for at the very beginning of the year. But you can ask the student resources just to be on the safe side.
Right. Next question from Rabi Ahmed. My TOEFL exam is on 14th of September and the results will be announced 5 days later on average. I don't want to do the assessment test. Is it okay?
So that might not be okay, Rabi. The 14th of September and like 5 days later on average as well. If it is beyond the 17th, we cannot guarantee that you don't have to take the ELAE. In this case, my honest recommendation would be to take the ELAE, take our exam as well. I know that it would suck to take an English exam like 3-4 days in a row. However, the official latest submission is the 17th, and they generally do not make exceptions to that date. So yeah. The School of Languages email was shared earlier. If you wish, you can write to them. The chat has their email. You can write to them and ask if they might give you some like extra day or two. But yeah, most likely you will have your result beyond the deadline, and that is a bit of a risk. So I would recommend taking our exam, or take the TOEFL earlier if you can. In Istanbul, there are multiple TOEFL tests available within the next couple of weeks, if that is necessary, in public universities as well. So that could be an option perhaps.
Thank you, Can. The next question from Murat Orancı. Maybe İrem can answer this question. Do I have to translate my transcript to Turkish?
It was already in English, so it is okay, right, Can?
Yes, Turkish, English is perfectly fine. As long as it's not, I think English and Turkish is the only ones that they accept. So any one of those.
Yeah, it was in English. It was from United Arab Emirates, so it will be
Yeah.
okay.
Perfectly fine.
Okay, the next question from Zainab. Are candles allowed in dorms?
Other
Smoke
question.
detector.
It's not allowed because of this fire detector, so
But
no
I mean,
might
one
not be.
candle would probably not trigger the smoke detector. But I mean, don't light candles in your dormitory, I guess, is what we should tell you officially.
It depends on the candle size, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Any size is not allowed, I think.
Just
You
light your
also-
candle outside.
You can also write to dormitory administration. Hope Alican can write their email address in the chat part. Okay, the next question from Misha Rehan, again regarding the dormitories. Are electrical appliances like sandwich makers, rice cookers, kettles allowed in dormitory room? There are shared kitchens actually. You can use your devices, electric devices in the shared kitchen. And also, as far as I remember, you can use the kettle in your dormitory room, but still, I recommend you to ask the dormitory administration. The kilowatt depends on the country, can change, the local electricity kilowatts and may be different than your country. Okay, the next question from Hussein Mogal. Is there a list of prohibited items available for dorms? Yes, each dormitory rooms on the ground floor, I remember there's a table showing the prohibited items, but to make sure about that, you can write an email to dormitory administration. You can find their email address in the chat bar, so you can directly ask them if this is prohibited or if this is not. So the next question from Amna Jamal. When will we be getting the schedule for our classes?
Once you register, basically. So the courses since we mentioned already that the first year classes, courses are the same for every student. Once you register, those classes will be automatically assigned to you and you will have your schedule within a couple of days after that. If you choose to change your, sections for some classes, so you take them in different hours and so on, and you will be able to do that for a week or two after registrations. But your first schedule will be created once the registration is finished.
Great. The next question from Mehdi. Can you please explain in more details what is International Welcoming Day and Orientation Days?
So the International Welcoming Day, Mehdi, is basically going to be something that we ourselves hold. So it's going to be like a meet and greet type of situation with the international office and all the international students. Hopefully a little bit warmer, a little bit more entertaining. So that's going to be on the 18th, and we'll organize that. So you should come for sure. Orientation days are going to be the general university orientation. Every single department will introduce themselves, will talk about relevant information, whether it be the dormitories, student resources, IT, the library, the sports center, and so on and so forth. There'll be student clubs that do events. There'll be sessions about living in Turkey, studying, and so on. The full schedule for the orientation will be shared with you within a week or two. And the details of the International Welcoming Day will also be shared. So just check your email and you get the information. But they both should be, especially the orientation is quite key. But you should really attend both of them. They'll be fun and useful.
Great. The next question from Amna Jamal. What devices are already present in the shared kitchen?
There are ovens. I think there's an oven. There's stoves.
Microwave?
There's a microwave. Is there a kettle? There's water dispensers.
Should be.
I don't think there are pots and pans, that kind of thing. Like I think you have to have those yourself, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, there's no fridge, I believe, because a mini fridge is the most commonly bought thing that students buy for the dormitory rooms. So that's perhaps something to keep in mind. A useful thing to buy early on.
Yeah, connected to this question, do we have to buy our own pots and pans for the shared kitchen, or they provided by the university? You can buy from the grocery store, you can buy from Amazon online. Yeah, is there a fridge in the shared dorm kitchen? As far as we remember, no, but
Yeah.
you can install one in your dormitory room, a small one.
The students who already graduated, generally they sell their mini fridge, so it's affordable prices generally.
Yeah.
You need to follow your MICE account to see that kind of announcements. You will see some like interesting announcements about this fridge, mini fridge. Generally, all students have their own mini fridge in their room.
That's great. The next question from IBK Bashar. Will we be administered in the same room as other international students, or will it be mixed with Turkish?
It's random largely. There's no specific system that they look at. So yeah. If you have requests, by the way, for the dormitory rooms, you can make requests to stay with specific people, friends of yours, and if you know anybody from the university or something, or if you have any friends that are in this freshman year. So if you have specific requests of that sort, that I want to stay with XY, you can mention that during the application to the dormitories. That doesn't mean every single request is, of course, taken into account, but that is the way to basically take care of that problem.
Great. The next question for Miss Pınar. Can accompanying parents use the airport shuttle service?
Yes, they can use, but on the form that we are going to send you about this information, there will be a section. You need to mention the number of people that will accompany you, and also the name of the people. Not so many, please, because we have limited spaces, but let's say like 1 or 2 people will be fine.
Yeah.
But you have to mention about the names and the numbers exactly.
Great. Next question from Mohammed Abdullah. I do apologize for taking everyone back. Can you please give me an advice for creating a SU account, as it doesn't seem to be loading for me?
I mean, you guys have been following this process for a while, Hassan Alijan. I guess you can guide. Does he have to get in touch with the student resources?
Yeah, Mohammed, maybe if you can send us an email, we can just follow this issue and we can help you. Okay. Or if you already have our WhatsApp number, you can find us on our WhatsApp group. You can directly text us and we can solve it together.
Also, like, and some of the students like mentioned in the also WhatsApp group that like, and you can try to enter from like another browser, or like if you are using on laptop, you can try to use like another computer, or like you can try to use it from your mobile. Just like try this kind of things, like, and most of the students said that like, and after they tried another device, it's fixed, so they will be able to open their account, create their account.
Thank you, Alican. The very, very last question from Mehdi Gamarli. When we will be able to log in MySu app?
We actually do not know.
So actually, once you create your SU account and once you complete your online registration through SIS, as of 19th of September, you will be able to log in to your MySu account, I guess.
Yeah, that's the assumption.
Thank you very much. You're very welcome, Mohammed. The next question from Zainab Abdullah. For international students, does the university offer any Turkish language classes?
Yes, there are Turkish language classes that you can take during your education. There are free credits. They are free. Basically, you can choose whenever you wish to take them. They do not count into your credit count, let's say. So you can take them whenever you wish. I believe there's 4 levels of it. Like a total of 4 semesters worth of Turkish classes that get you up to like a sort of end of intermediate, beginning of advanced type of level. You're muted still, Hassan. Hassan, you're muted.
I'm muted. I already answered. Can you sound that? Misha Rehan is asking, will we be able to use shuttles to move around Istanbul as soon as we shift our dorms? And parents can't use this shuttle with us, right? You want, some individualistic attempts.
Yeah, you can use the shuttles, exactly. When you have your student card, the student card that you use to enter the dormitory rooms, unless they change anything, I suppose, but those same cards are the same cards that you use to use the shuttles as well. And I believe your parents can't use the shuttle with you, right? Yes. I'm not sure, actually. Maybe they're
I
allowed.
think they can, by the way.
Yeah, probably they
Yes.
should be. If you pay
They
for
need to pay for this.
Yes.
if you pay for them, I guess they can. But if you don't want them to, you can just say they're not allowed. You can pretend.
I guess we finished all these questions. I would
just-
expect more fun questions, but though you.
I just wanted to remind, if anyone hasn't joined the WhatsApp group yet, can you please just text or mail us, then we can share the link with you guys, because we're posting some updates from that group as well, and you can mingle with the other people.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Also, don't forget to follow our social media account. We have Instagram, we have Facebook and YouTube channel. So this event is live on YouTube right now. So you can easily reach out by our social media account. Okay, have a great day, everyone. Hope to see you soon again. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Have a nice day,
Hope to
everybody.
see you soon. Thank you.